Hey everybody, welcome back. It's Friday. I'm Christopher Dahl. Welcome to the early version of the Space Art by Christopher Dahl Friday. And greetings. We've got Iridium here. Hello, Brett. How's it going there? And Susan's here. Thank you so much for joining me on the early version of the live stream. Now, I wanted to fire it up because last week here, I'm going to adjust this a little bit. Last week we had so many issues with the stream, but it looks like it's holding up pretty well right now. Boy, that was weird. I do agree. I do think YouTube was playing a little, having a little trouble there. So, yeah, but let's fire it up. And hey, greetings. I'm going to kick off some music in the background. So we've got that going. There we go. Awesome. Let me know if it's too loud, not loud enough, any of that kind of stuff. But hey, I was actually even really getting excited about our painting here, the Pillars of Creation. To the extent that I was gonna fire it up again over the weekend, but honestly, we just kind of got overwhelmed, and it's been a crazy week for the both of us, well, Stephanie and I. So, in fact, I can't even believe a week has gone by. Again, it's that's the way it goes. But a lot of exciting things happening here at the Space Art by Christopher Dahl Studios. We have a new book cover starting, and might even have a second one, possibly. We will see. But we're getting the cats all set up for their YouTube debut. I'm gonna do the first test footage of the Space Art cats. Pardon me, for the Patreon folks. So keep your eyes peeled. One of the things about getting our sunroom set up out in the back is that it's a good place to have coffee with cats. So yes, they're all out there. Anyhow, hope you all had a good week. Hope your Friday is turning out okay. We're on the verge of the weekend again. So as always, you have more important things to do than to go to that meeting with your manager or your group or whatever. So cancel the meetings and sit back, and we're going to do some more oil painting. Hey. But anyhow, let's go ahead and kick it on over. Let me make sure. That's the only thing that's really weird is the kick over here from one view to the other is sticking a little bit, and that's a little unusual, but the most part it's working out really good, and I'm actually pretty happy with it. I'm digging the let me put my hand in here. I'm digging the light at the top, or the image at the top, along with my little face here down to the bottom. I think this is all looking pretty cool, so I'm gonna work with variations of this as we go on. I know I'm putting a lot of thought into this thing, but I really want to continue to improve as we go and make things a little nicer. Anyhow, what else did we do last week? Well, okay, so we did a little brush work, right? Here, I'm gonna zoom the old camera right on in here. Check this action out. Okay, these are these are the brushes that I used last week, and if you remember, I found out that because these were my oil brushes, they'd been sitting for a while and got like really gummed up. This flat one here, I have two rounds. This was my former old round. This was my brand new round brush, the lighter colored one, and I was so bummed because I had left paint in them and didn't properly clean them. So they were all pretty gummed up. And then my fan brush here, which you saw me using quite a bit last week, was getting a little. It was a little gummed up with paint. So I did a little research, checked up what's the best way to recover paint brushes, and I had some suggestions for some of you here, even over on Facebook. I posted about this a while ago, but let me tell you something. I switched up my where is it here? Where did that go? Oh yeah. First off, I switched up my thinner. Before I was using turpentine for my oil paints, which is that's a good solvent, right? Good for brush cleaning, but turpentine doesn't dissolve or clean this stuff. And I guess I didn't realize that. I thought turpentine was a solvent that would work on liquid, but no, odorless mineral spirits do, and that's another alternative. So I've switched to odorless mineral spirits, which is kind of funny because I can tell you right now, if I open this thing up, it smells like an old model kit bench, the enamels that use mineral spirits. But anyway, so it's a little more aggressive. So first I cleaned them with the mineral spirits, And that I went through a bunch of that, and I got a whole lot of paint out of it. It dissolved a whole bunch of paint, and I thought, that's cool, but they were still kind of gummed up. Hey, Edward, how you doing? Edward Bartlett's here. Greetings. Howdy, howdy. Welcome aboard. We're just reviewing my, we're kind of at the early start, so I'm kind of checking the stream here while I go over my little paintbrushes. But anyway, so after cleaning them with the odorless mineral spirits, I gave them an overnight soak. This is a trick I heard in Murphy's oil soap, of all things, which we have some. We frequently use Murphy's oil soap for cleaning. Got that great old school janitor closet smell. That really did it. That like, I mean, I couldn't believe, for one, this was my worst brush. And you couldn't even, like, it was just a crusted mass of stuff. So not only was I able to clean it, but I was able to kind of restore a respectable round pointy shape, which was really cool. I was very excited. This flat brush had so much paint gummed up in it, it didn't feel soft or anything. It was kind of like it was a little bristly pad. It was like, I'm gonna attack the paint. But not now. No. Now I'm sitting here fine because I've got my cool hair. Like the artist. No, cool. Anyway, so yeah, we are happy soft brushes. That's pretty cool. What's really great about that, though, is that, you know, I must have like a dozen more brushes that are kind of like I've kept them, but they're still in bad shape. I'm going to do some brush rescuing. So that's kind of cool. Especially if you have a brush that you like and unfortunately wasn't working well. My brand new one, I was really bugged because I like having a good I like having a you know, well-shaped round tips on the round brushes. I like well-shaped flat brushes when I need them. Sorry, the drink today is coffee. Yes, I'm sorry. The drink of the stream in my United Nuclear official coffee mug, which I can't believe that's become my favorite coffee mug. Anyhow, welcome to ADHD Art Friday. So yeah, so brushes, that's pretty cool. The best part though was that the recommendation to do the final, like, you clean your brush, you get it soft and everything, but to restore that nice shape. Where did that go? Where did that go? I'm out of my cool brush cleaner, but damn it, I had some old styling clay that I actually don't really use, but that worked great, and it gives your brushes a nice fine smell. God damn it, I'm a Dapper Dan, man. I don't want no fop. So yeah, there we go. So yes, my brushes now have a fine hair care product smell. Bonus points for cleaning with hair products. No, but it really helped. It got the shape back in nicely, and that stuff washes right out. So I only let it sit in for a couple of days and then gave it a quick wash. Anyhow, all right, we are almost to the official time of starting, which is really great. Thank you all for joining, and I do want to. I keep saying I want to do more live streams. I very much do, and I just I'm just behind on everything. I swear. I burned like a quarter of my time since January on this Acre program, and it really put everything kind of behind schedule. So yeah, we're getting there. Hey, successful space artist. At least we're doing it, right? That's the important part. All right, let's kick on over to the painting again with that great move, and now I'm going to bring it back out just a little bit. There we go. Awesome. All right, so again, round panel. This is a wood panel. In fact, I don't think I bought. Yeah, so basically, it's a wood panel that I had gessoed. I gessoed only the front. I probably should do the back too. I'll do that as part of my finishing, or at least get a sealer on the back. Not that it would really matter with wood this thick, but you know, you want to limit the amount of moisture that comes in. So I'll do that. But anyway, so I gessoed this panel, got it nice and smooth. It's actually one of the smoothest surfaces I've worked on in a while. but still enough tack to take the paint. I originally gave it a black layer, and I actually used acrylic for that. I used my Liquitex acrylic to get the black. So this whole thing was black, and I've gone through 2 passes of color. The last pass, the second pass, is the one we did last week on the live stream, and I was actually really getting into some of this. And the photo, of course, as you can see, that we're trying to paint, the Pillars of Creation, is right above me here. So the goal of this is to get the background tones of this painting, and now we can kind of start coming in and having some fun with all the cool highlights. And yes, indeed, I think we will even have some stars to be flicked upon this by the end. So anyway, cool. I also, another note, we are, like I said, we're doing this in oils. Our oil paints are pretty much the Gamblin line of oil paints, which is mostly what I've been using here. They make good oil paint. I like them a lot. I have a few others, but for those that are so inclined, I tend to work off the professional grade paints more than anything else, just because I am more, I like the pigment load. I like the performance characteristics of them. I know it makes it sound like I'm racing a car or something, but no, truly, it makes a difference. So anyhow, one of the first things we're going to do on this stage, though, because I previously pretty much painted this pretty dry, and that was another little test I've done. A lot of times when I would do sort of a la Prima style oil painting, that usually involves, you know, more of a Bob Ross style where it's wet on wet. I did a little bit of it, but I also wanted to maintain some of this modeling. I didn't want to go too blended on this yet. So this has had a chance to set up nicely. Again, oil paint. I don't feel anything tacky at all. But today we're going to change that. about now? There we go. That's weird. I don't understand. I literally touched nothing. Yeah. How about now? That's so weird. I was literally running. On the plus side, your painting looks great. I'm so sorry. I don't get it. We hear you. I ran for 15 minutes without anything happening. It's so crazy. Okay. I'm going to just leave it like that for now, so maybe I can catch it next time. Thank you for your patience, everyone. Rhonda, this didn't happen till you showed up. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Oh my gosh. I can't have a live stream, I swear. Okay. Okay, good. Thank you. I will say this, the stream, as I'm looking at it, has actually been better. So I break my stream every week, John. This is a thing. Please hold. We're experiencing technical difficulties. You know, that really should just be my entire stream, right? Is just be this, right? That would be all that my stream is if I were to do that. I don't get it. I mean, well, here we are. Onwards and upwards. I'm going to leave the monitor on. It's going to flip me out a little bit, but all right, what were we doing? Hello, everybody. John, hello. Andrew, 81 Designs, hello again. Hello, Rhonda. Okay. Now, what was I saying before? I'm sure it was something like that. That's the weird thing. It could be a USB thing. They're all on the same board, but it is supposedly the beefy board. Something's going weird. Okay. Anyway, so what I'm doing, just to give you an idea, we have our painting here, and I'm putting a little layer of liquid. Audio sounds echoey. Perfect. All right. Why would that be the case? I have... Oh, I know why. There we go. Yep. I know why. I turned on a second microphone. The second microphone probably was one of my cameras. Too many things going on. Lots of echo. So right now, the only two things I have are... I have... widget. Yeah, got that. Got my microphone, this one. Okay. Let me know if the echo has disappeared. Not sure. It's so funny. I haven't really changed anything. That's what's really driving me nuts. All right. Anyway, I'm just gonna get this covered, and we can get on with it. Okay, so I'm just getting a clear layer on here. So when we paint, we're going to get a little, hopefully this will work the way I want it to. All right. Yeah, there we go. Okay, cool. Enough of that. Right. Okay. I'm gonna pop this back over there. Anyway, the drink today is coffee in my United Nuclear mug. Too funny. All right, I've got to mix up some paint, so let me mix up some paint. What do I need first? I kind of feel like I need to get the glows in here. So on the top half, that glow is kind of a green tinted or green shifted blue, if you will. So I think I'm going to need a little bit of my phthalo. Definitely going to need the white for sure. We would like. Okay. Little phthalo blue with a touch of Hansa Yellow Light and some white. Gives us a good kind of teal, if you will. And we're going to go with that. So, let me just set things up out here. Get rid of my liquid. Get rid of my extra brushes. Actually, I might keep these over here. There we go. Okay. Wrong one of these. Okay, let me just pause this for a second. Pausing the music. Okay. I'm not hearing echo this time, so there we go. All right. Paint. We can finally get to this. And again, I hope you're all having a good week. Fingers crossed. All right, so we're going to get a little phthalo here. If I can open the damn tube. Duh. Hey, Jean-Marc is here. Hello, everyone. Da-da-da. Late for the party. Ah, you're fine. Oh, Paul. Hey, you got a new subscriber. Welcome aboard. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Welcome to join. You're on vacation and all over the place. On the land. That's awesome. Well, good to have you here, Jean-Marc. I appreciate it. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Okay, I will actually get to painting here, I promise. There is actually painting in the Space Art live stream, right? You do actually do that here, right? All right, I want one of these and then some of this right here. Okay. I don't want to put too much out. Hey, Andrew's here. Hello, hello. Andrew on his trip to the Great Pacific Northwest. I'm jealous. We collectively miss the Pacific Northwest around here, folks. No getting over it. Ooh, that's a good color. Ooh, that's a good one, right? Yeah, get on that painting, damn it. I know, right? All right. I'm getting here. Da 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 da. You do have dinosaurs on your dinosaur ride, don't you? Going back to the old Jurassic Park. Oh, yeah. It was fun and sunny. Oh, you didn't go there. You went somewhere else. Actually, I was hearing that it had gotten a little sunny. That's really cool. All right. I've got a little bit of my Hans Yellow in here with this. Hopefully I've got enough. It's not terribly difficult. So this is kind of a... Oh, what am I doing? I gotta get over here. There we go. Wrong one. There we go. Got a little brighter. Oh, there's a big glare on it now that I put that on, isn't there? Oh, no! I made this thing really shiny. Ah! Can I... Yeah, there we go. And then there's a light behind me. Ah! Killing me, guys. Okay. I'm gonna mix up a little bit more, but in a different tone. A little different, a little bit more yellow on this one. Hang tight. This way I have two colors I can kind of work with. I keep using like way too much paint, or you don't use enough. You know, there's no middle ground here. Okay. That's what I want. All right. All right. Jean-Marc asks, have you seen the Lumos ink pen? Yes, I did. Yes. What do you think of it? I think it would be worth trying out. I did check that out after our last live stream. I've used other fountain pens like that or other ink cartridge pens, and I've enjoyed them a lot. I wish I had more. I really do enjoy those. All right. So let's just get on with it, shall we? I'm gonna keep my my fan brush handy. And let me get this camera on in here a little bit. There we go. And then up a bit. There we go. I think. Okay. Let's get some paint going. Kind of want these areas up here. I want to get some bright up there. Okay, I'm just going to bring it back out a little bit. There we go. In fact, maybe I will. There we go. That might make that a little bit easier. So I'm just going to kind of put some down in the bright spots, if you will. And some is going to have a little bit of this, a little darker blue. I'm kind of just loading up the colors, if you will, a little bit. There is some bright over here. When it comes to pens, Jean-Marc, I will tell you, I've become pretty fond over the years of just straight up ballpoint, and that's more because of how I draw, and specifically ballpoint, not rollerball, like not gel kind of stuff. So yeah. Okay. Now, I'm going to set my brush down. Let me see how our newly cleaned fan brush will do. It's a big fan brush for this, but that's okay. We're just going to be gentle. There's a delicacy to this. And I have to be honest with you, I don't do oil painting enough. So this is always fun. My YouTube is on Canadian mode because we're 12 watching and only 3 likes. Same as money. 3 US gets you 12. Connect. Yeah. What do we have here tonight? We've got a pretty good crowd going, I think. Yeah, we got it. It kind of peaks and ebbs. Just depends. You know, it's kind of weird. Fridays aren't easy for anybody, everybody, I should say. As you can see. There we go. But yeah, trying to get some excitement out here. There's some yellows that will end up in here, but I wanted to get the blues on for obvious reasons. Have to be careful because this will really leave a mark, but that's okay. All right. Just kind of loading up my brush again with a little bit more of the lighter version. Work this side a little bit. I'm going to try a little bit of my more yellow one here. There we go. Just a little bit. All right. Jean-Marc says, as far as I remember, I could never write with a ball pen Bic style. I asked my uncle to get me some fine liner and use those until we cannot get them anymore. Yeah, so like the Bic style disposable pens, not my favorite. I mean, disposable pens in general, I used them for years, right? And I kind of just got to a point where I think I ended up with. Oh, I have it here. All right, I'm gonna whistle that. So my ballpoint pen choice are these Parker Jotters. It's really weird. Like I would always lose my whatever pen I had chosen to use that week, right? And usually they had like logos on them, Microsoft, Expedia, whatever. Or not Expedia. I'd already had my pens there by the time I was Expedia. So I ended up buying this one ballpoint pen, thinking I'm gonna lose this thing. It was like what, 15 bucks? It's nothing, 15 US. It wasn't terribly expensive. And oddly enough, no, it stuck with me. I'm going back to my flat brush because I'm finding the fan is just too big. Oh, this is a very wet kind of surface. That's okay. And there's little bits out here. A lot of my art was ballpoint pen, paper, Bic, and Amazon Basics. Oh yeah, yeah. The basic kinds of drawing tools like pencils, pens, and so forth. Actually, I mean, oftentimes they're better than what any artist had in the past X number of years. So even the cheapest ballpoint pen, you know, that you get in a pack of 100 for nothing. If you brought that back 100 years, people would be like flabbergasted. They'd be like, "What is this black magic?" Well, I mean, they'd figure it out, but it wouldn't freak them out as much as an iPhone would. There you go. Okay. Yeah, this is really delicate work, but okay. I'm overworking it. Stop that. I see people doing amazing stuff in pen, amazing drawing and textures. Yeah, it's kind of funny when you're kind of drawing a lot. You can kind of get into some nice nice rhythms on details and things. And it's funny what happens just once your pen or pencil, whatever you're using, is actually, once you start like actually using it and rolling it around, it's pretty cool, like what you'll discover on the way. It's fun. Okay. In here. I'm trying to maintain the little streaks that show things going on behind. Okay, forgot where I was looking. Okay. A better place to put my brushes. Yep. My problem is not what is in between the pen and paper. Problem is most probably between the hand and the head. Yeah, that was it reminds me of, like, yes, a lot of folks that work in call centers. You know, what's the code for problem exists between keyboard and head? Is that what that goes? Yeah. I hear you there. Painful as it is. All right. I'm getting a nice start on that. Yeah, Pepco. Thank you. There we go. That's the one. Totally. Okay, I've got a few spots out here. I could use some brightening up. And not a lot. A little bit here. A little bit out over here, too. There we go. On this side. A little bit over there. Get a little bit more paint on this. There, just a little bit. Okay. Let's see how this works. Too much. That's okay. The cool thing is I can just wipe it off because the stuff underneath is pretty much just my, it's already dried. It's already there. There we go. This works better with a dry brush, but I'm going to make this go. Probably isn't helping me much that I'm working with a pretty big brush, but I'm going to make it work anyway. There we go. I'm kind of been trying to use things like these, using the cloth to introduce some texture. And I'm having fun with it. So I see no reason to not continue. Hey, right? There we go. All right. Boom, ba-da, boom, ba-da, boom, 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 boom. Bits in there. All right. I might actually have to switch to a smaller brush. Hang on. This is my jar of previously used oil brushes. Some work, some don't. I know I had a smaller one in here someplace. Well, I do. That. Actually, what I should just do before I go to that, I'm just going to keep working with this bad boy. There's a little bit down here. There's still a bit more in this right. Okay, I'm going to bring this back in again. When the board is this wet, everything you do leaves a mark, I swear, or pulls a mark. So yeah. But I'm trying to make sure that I've got good contrast between the darks and this background. In particular, this area is looking lighter than in my image. So I think there's some more in there that needs to be going on. Fact. There's a couple of areas in there that were kind of modeled a bit. So let me see if I can't do that. Too much. Too much. And phthalo too. Okay. Okay. Try something, doesn't work, move on. It brought back some of the darkness I was just talking about, so that's kind of cool. I went like I want some of this brightness, but not all of it. Okay. Okay. Hey, how's it going? Very ominous. Yes. Is the echo back? Echo came back. Why is that? That's so weird. All right. Very ominous. Now I can't hear it. I clearly have something going on with the mic. Hold on. All right. I'm not hearing it. That's weird. Wow, why is that doing that? Sorry about that. Keep going through my other ones. I'm just looking through my list of audio sources. I see two. Like literally only two. Well, there's a widget one. That's weird. Okay. Oh boy. Never fails. EOS microphone. It's some kind of feedback? In space. Well, hang on a sec. All right. Let me see if I can hear what you're all hearing. See, the camera mic thing I just confirmed doesn't exist like that. But thank you. All right. I'm going to try this again. Let's see what we can hear here. All right. Wait. Am I not hearing anything? Wow. Weird. All right, let me just do a quick thing. Okay. That's my technical term, folks. Welcome to the echo chamber. All right. Why would that do that? Hang on. Da 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 da. Boom 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 boom. I love how it doesn't even like list my camera ones anymore because I've pulled the thing off. Huh. Okay. Is my hair always that bright green? My hair is always that bright green. Yes. Yes. Oh my gosh. What is going on here? We have just this, right? Air, whatever that is. Okay. My Okay, I'm trying that now. Let's see. See how that one works. I'll do a hand wipe here. Let's see how that goes. Sorry about this, folks. Hey, but I need to figure this out. Still not working. Okay. Now, is it happening in all views or just happening in one? That would be my weird. Okay. It is happening here. This is stupid. Okay. I'm going to try the last big thing. Here we go. Are we having fun yet? Wait. This is called fun with... No. I'm kidding. Just a sec. What's particularly frustrating is that I can't hear it on my headphones. I can only hear it when I'm listening to this thing. So let's see if that did the trick. There's about a 20-second delay between what I actually say and when it shows up. Oh, that seems to have killed it. Okay. Boom, look at that. I don't know. This hasn't lasted very long. Same here. Kind of cool. Hey, no more echo. Awesome. I'm becoming concerned that something in my chain ain't working very well. So, yeah. Okay. Let me know. Thank you all for letting me know, because this kind of stuff is weird. It's one thing if I know that there's something kind of broken and I can figure out how to fix it, but when it just randomly happens like that, it's frustrating. It's back. Great. Fantastic. Yeah, just when I switch over to something else. I probably have a ghost in the system. Kinda. All right. Fantastic. All right, there we go. Freaking me out. Technologically. All right, hold on. Move this back up. Oh yeah. Just now you probably heard that. Yeah, go explore that chain. Thanks. Yeah. I'm gonna just go check the chain. I did have my phone with me, so it was probably like, just what do you mean just trolling now? What really bugs me is that one of the few things I've got going for this live stream is my damn voice. Well, the voice and the hair. And my ravishingly good looks. The humility on display is beyond measure. Thank you, everyone. No, really, thank you, because that's just weird. Yeah, and it's funny, the microphone, the Focusrite that I'm using to attach the microphone to my computer, all that's been the same for like 3-4 years. I don't know if something in here isn't going great, but I do run a lot of USB objects into the mix here, and my bigger concern is that maybe the bus in my laptop isn't is yeah. Gotta go check on my chain. Yeah, let me go look at my chain. You going on about your chain again? Leave it alone. Always on about the chain. There you go, bringing class into it again. Doing my best Terry Jones here. Sorry, folks. Yeah. Oh, go out and check your chain and be on with it. Right. All right. Are we having fun yet? I'm going to get a couple more colors out while I'm here. Feeling the need. You with your hair and dashing good looks. Thank you so much. Yes, exactly. It's the, we want to know while we're really here. The art's just kind of superfluous. Oh, take me seriously. I'm an artist. All right. I'm gonna get out a little. I need a little bit more of my. What did I get out here? Raw sienna, and I'm gonna go with my alizarin crimson permanent. The Crimson Permanent Assurance Company. Apparently, this live stream is now being taken over by the Monty Python group. Aren't they all though? Let's be serious. Ultramarine. No Ultramarine yet. I'm gonna go back to Ultramarine shortly. Right now, I'm kind of in the I'm in the Thalos. There's a lot of Ultramarine and magenta based, purple Ultramarines in here. Believe it or not, it's kind of because it's shiny. I'm now starting to notice a bit of the glare. Let me do this. You can kind of see better. This is kind of the straight on view. My camera's on a bit of an angle, so you're not going to end up looking at the back of my head. I do wish I had this view, and I'm working towards it. In fact, maybe I can. That'll make it worse if I turn it this way, won't it? Yeah, it kind of does a little bit, but I can do that a bit. There. Maybe that's a bit better. So I do actually have some really good purples and ultramarine blues coming along in here a little bit. I've been covering it up with the stuff that we have. In fact, I kind of want to. Okay, that one's not there. That's okay. Yeah, we're in good shape. We're just gonna make it work. We're gonna make that work. Thank you. Having a good time with it too. Rotate it this way. My clever easel thing is basically just a couple of loops of zip ties. That's what I was trying to say. Zip tie. All right. Get in some more of this stuff. Right. Kind of want more yellow in this. I've got some raw sienna, which is kind of an orange, earthy yellow, and it's kind of where I want to go. So, yeah, there we are. All right. Up. Oh, I'll just heard the car. The lady is leaving. Yeah. This is a little too light in here, so I'm going to just kill some of this. But we can always come back later. There we go. I really just wanted the edges. Same thing with down here. We're going to get into a little bit. I'm shifting to more of the yellow-based tones. There's some in here. It actually goes yellow to green. It's pretty interesting. And we're going to get a little bit... I'm not going to do the inside yet. We're going to get there shortly. And then down along here, got a bit. We start getting into... Yeah, we're going to get into it over here. There's a whole bunch of this space that has some of these tones. A little bit down here. And there's a split over here. And then a little bit along this edge. Now, right now, I'm just putting the paint down, right? So that I kind of get an idea of where things are at. I'm going to get a couple of fields of color down in here. Okay, cool. Right. Maybe I will try my smaller... Maybe I will try my smaller fan brush this time. Da 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 da. Let's try this here. Ba-ba. Oh yeah. I have to admit, being kind of dainty about it is fun. Let me get this in here so you can kind of see what I'm doing. There we go. There we go. We're going to get a little bit in there. Some of this going on the outside edge. There we go. Yeah. Pull it back just a bit. There we go. Get it down there a bit. Let's see what we're going on. Now this side's a little trickier. A little bit up in there. I want. Down there. And again, I'm just kind of trying to get the brightness and lightness before I start getting into the detailed edges and things in here. Guess I could have put some on that end too. Yeah, let's do that. Oh, no, wrong one. Wrong brush. Wrong brush. Whoop. All right. Okay, needed some more paint. Sorry. It's actually very relaxing. I'm not going to lie. Oh, I forgot to put our music back on. I will blame Spotify for all of my problems. I'm kidding. Let's kick that back on, shall we? There we go. Yeah. Okay. Here. And this I'm just going to futz a bit because it's a little lighter anyway. So there we go. Same thing kind of in here. Cool. There's a little bit up in here too. So I just want to make sure I've got that. There we go. Whoop, too much. Too much. Okay, that's kind of what I wanted to do anyway. Yeah, that's what I meant to do that. Right. And other lies that artists tell while they're painting. I totally meant to do that. There was no escaping that. I'm sure you all believe me. Right. Oh, yeah. No comment, right? Exactly. Perfect. Actually, I'm going to think about the next stage of this while I get out and one more paint. Yeah, you mentioned ultramarine blue. I do need it, actually, now that I'm looking at it. There's a mixing element to it that I'm going to need, so let me grab some of my ultramarine. I like all the blues. There's a, like, my favorite thing is the range of blues. I don't know why. It's just that seems to settle well in my brain, right? This is one of the Cosmos TV show episode titles. Blues for the Red Planet. There are times when my professionalism comes through. Brilliant! Right. Okay, what do I need in here? I need kind of a purpley gray. So let me work on that for a sec. I like the Region Blue also. Thank you. Okay, I'm just doing a little paint mix here. I'm just doing little bits because I'm not sure if this is the direction I want to go with it. Ooh, kind of in that ballpark though. Here, I'll switch back over because I'm mixing this color kind of like right here. Oh, it looks very red on the camera. Interesting. It's much more purple though. No, that's kind of in that ballpark. There's like a purple hue and then a bluer version of it. So I'm going to leave that, and then let me try to lighten it up over here. Yeah, there we go. Oh, bingo. We have a bingo. No, we just say bingo. I'll be quoting the Quentin Tarantino movie Inglourious Bastards for the next 4 years. Thank you. Oh, this is gorgeous. You know, a lot of times when I'm mixing paint, you know, for a while there, it was like a 50-50. Am I going to be in the right ballpark? Am I going to be where I'm trying to go, especially on a complicated color? And a lot of times I'll end up mixing a pile of paint that's just useless. Just the unfortunate reality of mixing paint, right? But some days you get it right, and it feels so good. That's talent. Twice the painting if you use your shirt. Right. Nobody just paints with their hands anymore. You've got to use your shirt. All right. Let's see if this is going to work in here. Very mauve. Needs more... a little more blue. But I think this is going to work. Okay. Oh, I thought it was on my art view. Sorry, folks. Sorry about that. That's kind of it's a little more red than I wanted. That's not cool. Okay, so I am struggling a bit, but I do like this color for some other areas. I'm gonna put it in there, a little bit down here, a little bit in there. And a lot of times I put these colors down just so they're present. There we go. Oh, too much of that. Damn. Wanted a touch of that too. Crap. I'm trying to get to this kind of weird cloudy blue-green, blue-green-gray. And, whoa, shit. I just took that off. Stop that, Chris. Okay, for God's sake. Anyway, I'm trying to go for kind of this cloudy. There's an area right in here where it gets pretty dark. And that's really what I'm trying for here. Maybe I need to approach this a little differently. Let's try something else. There we go. Okay. There we go. A little darker. That's what I want. A little darker. There was a little more purple in there. Quit fan brushing, Chris. Quit fanboying, Chris. Right? That's what I meant to say. There we go. And yeah, this is going to kind of disappear a little bit on this side, but we'll restore. There's going to be a point where I'm going to be bringing clouds back into the black clouds and some shapes of those. So, right. What do I want? Big here. Okay, there we go. And out here is a little bit more in the... There's definitely more of a light green going on. So I'm going to try to mix that up. I should be mixing with a brush. One of the other things, too, I always end up mixing with a brush, and that's just kind of not cool. All right. Let's see what we can do out here. Where did that one color go that I wanted, that I used before? There we go. A little bit of that. Alrighty. Well, thank you all for joining me on a Friday afternoon here. Having a really good time with you all. Thank you. Okay, let's give another little shout out to the, there we go. That's kind of what we're looking at right now. And this is a very bright area, but I did that on purpose. We're going to be darkening that up with details. And the bottom down here definitely had some green, a little deeper green than what I've just done. I'm going to try to pop in some more of that green. Where did my brush go? Hey. Gotta go back outside, Jean-Marc says, before tonight's rain. Well, thank you so much for hanging out today. I appreciate it. Just received lumber. Congratulations. Hope you enjoy your weekend, Jean-Marc. Thank you so much for joining today. I have to go boxing. Hey, get some boxing in. Remember, duck and cover. Go for the kidneys. Keep ducking. Don't let him hit you in the face. Good luck. I thought boxing would have been fun. I should have tried that when I thought that would have been a good time. Would have been good for me, too. I was too much of a wimp. Should have done it. Should have just done it. Alrighty, here we go. I've done the Pillars of Creation a couple of times, but this may be the most thorough kind of breakdown for me of the colors I see in this painting. It's been reinterpreted. It's not a photographic painting, right? I'm really just kind of going for an interpretation of what we see on here, with the goal of this being that if you walk into the room and look at this, it'll be like you're looking through a telescope. And yeah, there we go. Is it gin and tonic time yet? Yeah. It's always gin and tonic time, Andrew. Oh, yes, indeed. In this line of work, it's quite regularly gin and... Oh, I haven't had a gin and tonic in a long time. Actually, sounds really good. Not gonna lie, folks. That sounds pretty fucking awesome right about now. Oh. Okay. I'm getting in some browns, some reddish browns in here, because they are down here. Not a lot, but they are in here. Go. Here. Definitely some down here. We're going to get some up into there. Maybe a little bit here. A little bit up here. We'll have a little bit up in this too. I'm just starting to get in our colors into the depth here. So I really at least wanted to get that far. I really don't know if I'm going to finish this painting today. I'll be perfectly honest with all of you. No plan, right? We're just hanging. Yeah, there's another one right up in here. Probably is. Where'd that one go? That's over there. There's some more. Oh, okay. I kind of got some things going on. Okay. See, that's what I'm saying. I know, right? Gosh, every time, every day, right? But you know, back when I was in the tech field, I never drank on the job, especially not on Friday afternoons. Ah! And if you believe that... Andrew says no. There we go. Okay, there we go. I need a thing. Dun, 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 dun. These. I'm just going to mix up another one of my darks here. Darkish gray, kind of. There we go. That's what it needed. Okay. I know. I wish I had my damn palette cam back, folks. I'm very sorry that I don't. It's really frustrating. Yeah, nobody had scotch in their desk at all, ever, at Microsoft. No, not again. Okay, we're gonna get right on in here. I want to restore some shapes. You know, what still blows my mind away about this is that this area that I'm painting in, there's still stars right in front of this structure, which means that this thing is so huge. It's huge. It's enormous. What I remember most was they actually made a rule about no guns on campus. I remember that too. Yeah, that was actually a pretty hard and fast rule, honestly, and I can't say I blame them. Didn't stop the Microsoft Gun Club membership from exercising their constitutional rights on campus. I'll tell you, I have firsthand knowledge, knowing of a couple of people that did, that regularly carried, and just kind of said, nope, not gonna reveal, not gonna make a big deal about it, just not gonna, you know. Anyway, whatever. I actually never felt the need myself, so I was like, y'all have fun. Y'all knock yourselves out. And I just kind of mixed up a little darker version of what I'm using right now, just to kind of come in and get some darker areas here. Yeah, because the campus is rife with dangerous people. I know, right? Like the idiots you see wearing them to the grocery store. Jeez. Get a grip. Sorry, I'm not bashing gun owners. I own many myself. That's not the point. It's just that I do question some people's choice of you know, existing in an armed state. It's kind of ridiculous, actually. All right. don't want to overblend this, but I do want to get some... I want to adjust the shapes that I've just put in a bit, so I can kind of see where things are going. I have a tendency to overblend this kind of stuff, but there's a method to my madness, I promise. There we go. Oh, heck yeah. Oh my god, this is actually... Holy crap, this is actually starting to look like something. Are you kidding? Woohoo! Can you imagine meetings where everyone is carrying, right? Oh, no. I know personally for a fact, having remembered some particularly disastrous meetings, that would have been a bad thing. That would have been so bad. Okay, I feel like this needs to be down a bit. Like maybe this needs to be down here, but I'm going to deal with that later. Yeah. This is coming. This is starting to turn into the thing I wanted it to turn into. I'll be honest with you. All right. Ah! I moved my board. I moved my board. There we go. Okay. So there's some bright in here that I need that I don't have. Let's get that on in there, shall we? There we go. Oh man, there are a number of people that wouldn't last a day in that scenario. Yep. What did he do? He spoke. Did he have to blast him 5 times? Yes, and replace the magazine. Yes. Several times. Dude, you loaded him with 150 bullets. You've never met this person. You don't understand. Oh, God. It'd be terrible, I swear. It would literally be the worst. A little bit of that. Okay, yeah. Oh, that green is up in here. There's a little bit of this green up in here too. I forgot about that. And there's a little bit of it over here. Oh, this is really a fun painting, actually. Like, I think this needs to come around down here a bit more. Yeah, like that. There we go. And then this top piece here needs to come down a bit. There we go. Oh yeah, are we up for next week, Andrew? If you're watching, Are we gonna launch the thing, or are we gonna just do a test pod? Sorry, didn't mean to bring that up on the stream. I thought maybe if people were listening, they might get a kick out of the idea of dropping in on a test. A stream, if you will. Oh, this is darker up here. Okay, gotcha. And there's some more of that yellow in here. Where'd my yellow go? Let me see if I can at least get in some hints of where this stuff is. There we go. There's one. There's like a little one here. Where it gets kind of up. Oh, there's a lot going on up in this. I'm not even going to try up until I get up to a point. But I do want to get some bright in there. There we go. I'm going to do it with my hand. Yeah, let's do it this weekend. Okay, cool. Let me after this a little later, I'll set up a time for us. Okay. Alrighty. Who? There we go. That's a little, this guy's a little off over here, but I'm not going to lose any sleep over that. Like I said, it's going to be an interpretation. Cool. Yeah, let's do it. Let's have some fun with it. We're talking about a podcast, people. Because I know that none of you hear my voice enough every week. That's shitty. Oh my gosh. Okay. I'm going to take a quick break. I'm going to, run into the restroom. And in the meantime, I won't be long. I'll be like 5 minutes, and we'll come back. And I'll take a long look at this, and we'll see what we can do next. Don't go away, everybody. And we'll see if we can avoid me echoing again. God, that was weird. That still baffles me. Hang tight. Wow. Here we go. Welcome back to the live stream. I'm Christopher Dahl. Thank you for letting me take a moment. All right, hold on here. Get the old hair back in place. And we are painting the Pillars of Creation today and last week. And hopefully we're doing so. Oh, let me check. Are we doing so without any echo? That would be nice to know. Yeah, I think I needed to spread my devices across the USB plugins. I thought I'd solve that months ago, but apparently not. So, yay! Happy to oblige. Anyhow, we are working in oils today on this lovely painting. And there we go. Let me tilt this up just a bit. There we are. All right. And overall, I think I like how this is turning out. It's still a little blotchy, right? I haven't blended everything properly here yet, but I'm not going to worry about that too much. It does feel like this element is a little farther over, but maybe I can handle that on its own when I get into kind of the final detail pass. So I was hoping to be at the final detail pass here, but I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying the process here. So it's a very fun painting. I will say that. We'll get this on in here, and I'll try to contour around that. And there we go. I'm just gonna kind of do the same thing around the whole thing, and I'll worry about blending that a little bit. One thing I always forget so much of is that with oil paints, you know, they're not gonna dry in a minute like the acrylics I've been using so much of. So I'm just gonna take this moment by moment here and get the basic shapes. I'll adjust them as I see fit during the rest of the process here. All right, but this is a good color I'm finding to. This is going to go down to about here and have a little lippy. There's a dark bit in there. This light in here. Oh, my music stopped. I think I'm going to have to go back and stop the music again. There we go. Okie dokie. It's been that kind of a day. Right. Right back from the top. There we go. Raw-o. Okay. I hope you're all having fun. I hope we're all having an okay time here. I hope I'm not boring you all to tears. With all of this stuff. That. All right, where are the other? Right? There we go. I've got you up on the TV while I'm doing thing. That's okay. You're fine. That's awesome. Enjoy the afternoon. I'm just chilling. I'm just chilling out. I mean, I don't feel like I feel like the last couple of live streams have been causing me technical issues. It's nice to just kind of chill and do some work, you know? This is going to be some very subtle stuff. I need some right in here. Right up in here. The sort of blending ability of oils is really I always say that, but it's nice. It's really nice. I guess that kind of goes without saying, anyone that's worked with it, but I sometimes forget being that I use so damn much acrylic. Sometimes forget how things work, how things were intended to work. Be good. Oop! I bumped my palette or my easel. My new, I think this is my new brush, yeah. My new round brush. New-ish. I've been watching a lot of model builders on YouTube, and I had started watching some that do spaceship models, which is fine, and I have some really good friends of mine that do this. Well, Mediocre Modeler, you're one of them. Not sure if you're here tonight, but if you are, yeah, you're one of them, and everyone should definitely check out Mediocre Modeler's work. Got some good stuff going. Outside of the sci-fi realm, however, I've discovered a few Plasmo scale models. I think he's out of Czechoslovakia. Real nice guy, sounds like. And he's doing a lot of military planes and tank models. He's got a good style to his videos. I like him a lot. I mean, I like a lot of people, and they all kind of have their own take on it. What I found in particular is that a lot of the folks that do tank and plane models rely heavily. I mean, I did know this, right? I was building models for many years, right? But they use a lot of oil paints for weathering. And you know, washes and so forth, and streaks and stuff. Mainly because of like this, you can really just kind of have patience and work it, and you'll get some great results. And it's actually been a lot of fun to sort of you know, watch what you can do with oils, even if you're not, you know, painting a landscape or a stellar phenomenon like this, right? but it's made me really want to come back and work on some models again that have that have some requirements of weathering with oils. Want that one up there anymore? There we go. This is a little bright. There's actually some dark in there, but I really kind of wanted to establish the shapes and the glows a bit. Going a little off the beaten path here, but yeah, those actually do need to be more blue, don't they? Yes, they do. Whoop. That's more what I want. I wanted that color. That's what I wanted. There we are. That's better. Yeah. Still a little... Yeah. We're getting there. Best I could do, right? Best job I ever had. Best job I ever had. Da 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 da. Just trying something. Want to make sure I'm not getting my head in here again. So I'm trying to get some radial effects, like this, the rays coming out from behind here. I know these colors that I'm putting on look light, but they're actually not. They're surprisingly dark. If you looked at them on my palette, you would say that's not white at all. But because there's actually a lot of dark going on here, it just like goes bing. Exactly. That's exactly what it does. There we go. All right. Let's see here. There's a bit more of the greens going on down here. Let me see if I can get that in. Oh, got it in. I forgot I had some blue on my brush. That's okay. We'll work with that. I think we can work with that effectively. Ooh. This down here is actually really pretty. It's happy accidents, people. Hey, Wes is here. How you doing, Wes? Good to see you. Hey, you're never late. Don't worry. Come on in, take a chair, have a seat. We're looking through a telescope. Wouldn't that be fun? Like the telescope that gives you like perfect views, like processed and everything, right? Yeah. Hey, good to see you. Hope your week's going well, Wes. Hope everyone's doing pretty good this week. It's okay if you're late. We worked through some technical difficulties, you know, of course. Everything's working great, and then my microphone just stopped working. That was exciting. And then it started kicking off an echo. Hopefully this works. I put it back on my other I put my audio interface through a different USB port. So I hope that I've got that sorted out. But we haven't had any drops this week, so that's a good sign. Yeah. How's it going? Yeah. Oh yeah, think outside the box. When one lives with 20 cats, you end up with cat merch. Yeah, good times, right? It was exciting. No, we worked through it pretty quick. I actually have gotten some pretty good coverage on this painting. I'm really happy with how this is going. Let's see. So the short of it is, when we started, I took our painting from last week. I kind of covered it because it had already dried, right? I kind of covered it with a combination of liquid and a little bit of linseed oil, so we had a nice wet surface. And then we were going at it with brushes, just kind of filling in details and building out the forms here, paying special attention to the lights and the darks. Is this part of the book cover gig? Oh, no, Wes. This is just a live stream painting. That once it's done, will go in the store. And actually, I have another one of these rounds, and the store nearby that's selling them has about 20 more. I really enjoyed them. The book cover is it's a book 3 in the series that this author is doing, J. Fitzpatrick Maldine, which I highly recommended. It's the Foundry series. The first one was now I'm gonna forget because I'm just like, my brain is scattered. Isn't that terrible? Anyway, I did his first 2 covers. Actually, it's the same author that I did for the car and spaceships. That was same one. So we're working on his book 3. That's going to be pretty cool. I'm just kind of sketching on that right now. I don't have anything really to show yet. Figured it'd be a secret until the book comes out. Yeah, it's a secret to everybody except the Patreon followers. No, I'm kidding. That'd be terrible if I was like that. Jeez, that would be awful. No, yeah, I often don't work on the book covers. Unless an author specifically says, yeah, do it on your live stream. Just because, you know, it's not just my IP that I'm dealing with, right? I imagine that some people want to wait until, you know, let them do the reveal, and, you know, more power to them. Absolutely. Anyway, yeah. So a lot of what I was doing here was continuing to build out the shapes. Getting some of the glows, the backgrounds for the glows in here. As you can see from the actual image that's just up here on the left, there's a lot of like bright glowy things. It is the Godzilla Nebula, yes. Right? There's a little bit more ethereal cloud stuff going on in here, but I wanted to preserve the dark as long as I possibly could. Yeah, it's the Godzilla, and then next week we'll do the Mothra Nebula with the with the fairy girls singing, right? That would be fantastic. Oh my gosh. But yeah, I may have, unfortunately for you, Wes, I may be at the end of this one because I kind of want this to set up a bit before I proceed. So unfortunately, I don't think I'm going to get to the stars quite yet. Gohira shooting a bow and arrow, right? It's the Gohira as Orion, if you will. Yeah. Anyhow, but yeah. So what's coming up next this week? Let's see. There's going to be a podcast starting, and we're probably going to launch that. And I'm now set up to do Coffee with Cats, those out, and hopefully this week won't be as chaotic as the last three. I tell you, it's been pretty wild. But yeah, I think I'm actually going to wrap this up in a few minutes here. I want to thank everyone for showing up this week, and thank you all for your help with me when things were going a little sideways. I appreciate that. I'm trying to make this the problem-free live stream. Yeah, shooting at Orion, the great Godzilla nebula. Actually, I kind of think that's a cool idea. Is the do your nebulas, but they all have the form of a Japanese monster or hero, or we need the Ultraman Nebula, M46 or whatever, wherever he was from. I forget what they called it in the American production. But yeah, so that's coming up. I have actually a couple of weeks ago we did a I was working on the Space 1999 Hawk model. And I kind of stalled on that. I wanted to do more painting. The Pillars of Destruction. Yes, exactly. Actually, I'm gonna write that down. Where's my notepad? Because if I don't write this down, I'm damn well gonna forget it. So yeah. The Pillars of Destruction. I do think the space nebula theme has a lot going for it, because you can hide a lot of shapes in a nebula, right? Really, you could do kind of like anything with this, and it becomes a Rorschach test more than anything else. But I do like the I do like the appeal of possibly doing something kind of crazy. That's really fun. All right, everybody. I think I'm going to shut it down for the week. I appreciate you all being here, and I keep promising to be back. I'm going to be doing more of these. Hopefully, we're going to be... I hope to keep reaching an equilibrium. Audio's cutting out again? Okay. That's fucked up. I think I might have to replace either my microphone or my sound system. My Focusrite might be... I don't know. Do these things die? Do those things die at all? Focusrite Scarlets? I don't know. How weird. All right. Anyway, hopefully this won't have any issues. I'm gonna let us go tonight, and I hope you all have a grand week. We will see you all next time. Take care, everyone. Thank you.
All right, so I've taken my white paint with my little fan brush here, and let's just see how crazy this goes. This is where I throw paint everywhere. that just kind of gives it an air of legitimacy that it doesn't deserve. You know?
I have Bob Ross the shit out of this painting.